have never been 6-3, trying to get a win here today against the Cleveland Browns. Weather a non-issue. The retractable roof is closed here at Reliant Stadium. Pat Shurmur last week, 20-10 loss in San Francisco. He felt that the defense hung in there, but then Hardesty got hurt. Montario Hardesty, who stepped in for Peyton Hillis, and then they had to go to Chris Ogbonnaya, and Hardesty is out for a couple of weeks. Gary Kubiak, now in his 6th year as the head coach of the Houston Texans. He has just loved the balance that this team has had on offense, even in the absence of Andre Johnson. They're putting up very impressive numbers.
And he likes the balance in his running backs. So we talked a little bit about Arian Foster and Ben Tate. In a perfect world, Foster would get 20 to 5 to 30 carries. Tate would get 10 to 15. That would be a lot of running, but Kubiak loves the way his team and that offensive line performs in front of those two good backs.
Houston has won the toss. They've elected to receive, so Texas native Phil Dawson will get things started. Sherrick McManus is the deep man for Houston. McManus now in his 2nd year out of Northwestern. Texans and Browns, we are underway from Reliant Stadium. Returnable, McManus a yard deep in the end zone, takes it out. And McManus up the middle is stood up shy of the 20-yard line by Josh Cribbs on special teams. Matt Schaub, he is on pace for his 3rd straight 4,000-yard passing season.
And his tight end Owen Daniels has played with Schaub for 6 years now. He told us yesterday that he's seen Matt evolve as a leader on the field and in the locker room. He's gotten tougher over the years, been able to play through some minor injuries, and what sets him apart is his preparation. Second to none.
This Houston team has started games efficiently this season, unlike the Browns. Job, play fake, little floater out front for Dreesen. And Dreesen battling for extra yardage out along the perimeter, hit by the safety TJ Ward, and give him a gain of 4.5 on 1st down. Let's take a look at the starting offense for the Houston Texans. Big challenge today for Wade Smith going up against Ataba Rubin on the Browns defensive line. Backs and receivers, Lawrence Vickers, very popular player when he was a member of the Browns, a 6th-round pick back in 2006. He's going against his former team starting at fullback. We'll see a lot of 2 tight end sets with Daniels and Dreesen. That's part of the way they make up for the loss of Andre Johnson. Call it a 2nd and 5 for the Texans. And Schaub to Dreesen on back-to-back plays and a 1st down out near the 45. It's TJ Ward with the tackle. That's a 22-yard hookup, and Ward may have injured himself on the play.
And he's going to the sidelines. Let's check out Dreesen right here in the line of scrimmage. It's just a post route, but he's got a free release off the line of scrimmage. That allows him to get past the linebacker Jackson in the hole in front of TJ Ward. And the Browns have got to be concerned about Ward. And checking out that left hand.
On the slant to Kevin Walters, Schaub makes the connection for 5 yards. Chris Gokong with a stop for Cleveland. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Cleveland Browns. We told you they're ranked number 5 in the NFL, getting excellent production from the youngsters, including Philip Taylor up front, the rookie out of Baylor. Linebackers, Gokong banged up last week with a shoulder injury, but he's in there here today. And in that secondary, we saw TJ Ward go down with an injury. Joe Hayden has been a standout in his 2nd year from Florida. Usama Young is in for Ward. Schaub has the time. Releases to Foster over the middle, and Foster now out across the 45-yard line into Cleveland territory, hit by Fujita, and the Texans are moving the football with ease, opening drive of the day.
Yeah, so we start talking about running backs, Foster and Tate, and Schaub starts out with 4 straight passes, 4 straight completions. That last one to Arian Foster has been so important for the Texans, keeping their drives alive, with Schaub checking it down to the talented tailback.
Brian Johnson checks in, another receiver, and Derek Mason, the veteran acquired from the New York Jets. Tight end Daniels goes in motion on a 1st down. Handoff for Foster, bouncing it to the outside. And Foster, nice juke move. Mike Breisel with a key block up front. It's a 7-yard gain for Arian Foster.
And another fast start for the Texans, something they've been very good at the entire season, highlighted by that 2nd game where they just dominated the Steelers. The 10-minute, 55-second drive to open the game. But this is a very impressive opener as well.
31 points on their first offensive possession this season, tied with Pittsburgh and New England for the most points in the NFL. 2nd and 3. Texans are now inside the Cleveland 40. Keep it on the ground. And it's Foster hit very quickly as he tried to squeeze through that hole. And it's close to a first down. Brian Schafering, the first man to make contact with him.
Well, he knew he just needed a couple of yards, so he went for it right away instead of allowing the offensive line to develop. The hole came up about a half a yard short. But just shows you the type of awareness that Foster has as a running back, knowing what he needs and going after it immediately.
And Dick Jauron, defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns, former head coach with Chicago, interim with Detroit, and head man in Buffalo. 3rd and short here for Houston. Foster, a spin move, and Arian Foster able to lean his body, and it's enough for a first down. Scott Fujita will get credit for the stop, but they'll move the chains.
Yeah, he gets in behind Eric Winston and Mike Brizell, and they do a good job of pushing the defense back off the ball and allowing Foster to pick up that first down.
Now, we asked Arian Foster about this matchup against Cleveland. He said, look, a team like Cleveland, their defense, you got to go hit them in the mouth. Set the tone because you know they're going to be physical. I think Houston's setting the tone already. 10.5 to go in this first quarter. New set of downs for the Texans. It's Ben Tate checking in, and Tate with a zigzag move. Pushing and shoving after the play from Usama Young. 5th year out of Kent State, former New Orleans Saint, stepping in for the injured T.J. Ward. Eric Winston with a block. Take another look at this hit.
And listen to it. That just shows you what Tate gives to this Texan offense. A little bit more speed around that corner. Foster a glider, Tate more explosive.
So Ben Tate in his 2nd year out of Auburn, injured reserve last year with the ankle fibula injury. 4 passes, 4 running plays, and now a 5th. And it's Tate. Oh, a little dance by Tate. And showtime for the Texans. Ben Tate, touchdown. What a way to open the game. Long drive, and it's punctuated with an impressive run by Tate.
Yeah, longest run of his career. Great blocking. How about the block down the field right here by Jacoby Jones? He takes Hayden all the way back to the goal line, and it's a walk-in touchdown for number 44. What a drive. Another fast start. 82 yards in just 9 plays for the Texans.
Neil Racker's on for the extra point. The punter, Brett Hartman, will hold it. And Houston with a 7-0 lead, 9:50 mark of the first quarter. The powerful Ben Tate. They can hurt you with Foster, then they bring in this youngster from Auburn. Pick your poison. 9 plays, 82 yards for the Houston Texans. They open up with 4 passes and then back it up with 5 running plays. And the touchdown to Tate. Neil Rackers will kick it off. And Josh Cribbs is deep. Cribbs will take it on the move. Trying to cut it to the outside. Finds a lane and then stumbles out of bounds. Just short of the 30-yard line. And Rackers was over there to help bring him down. We will see Colt McCoy and the Cleveland offense when we come back. We saw a lot of the Houston offense to open things up with Tate getting the score. Look at downtown Houston on an autumn Sunday with the Texans in front 7-0. Houston comes in, the number 7 offense in the NFL. Cleveland ranked 26th overall in total offense. McCoy on a handoff. Obadiah fumbles the football. As the ball squirts loose, D'Amico Ryans knocked it free. And the Texans take over.
J.J. Watt's got the ball in his hand, and he ain't giving it up. Really an unfortunate start for Obadiah. It appears that he has some type of shoulder or arm injury. Had a nice little run here on the left side, cutting back, finding a little bit of a hole, but you're absolutely right. D'Amico Ryans comes in there with the left hand, going to punch this ball out right about there, and it falls right into the lap of J.J. Watt.
One play and a turnover for the Browns. For the 11th straight game, the Texans have forced a turnover. Schaub, off play action. And Schaub throws it away. First incompletion for Matt Schaub, and Houston native Chris Ogbonnaya, not the way he visualized his first NFL start.
First play of the game last week against the Niners. It was the second play of the game where Colt McCoy was hit by the blitzing linebacker Ahmad Brooks in the pocket. He fumbled, the 49ers recovered and went in for their first touchdown after that. Just a horrible start for the Browns one more time.
No Peyton Hillis, out with a hamstring injury. No Montario Hardesty, out with a calf injury he suffered last week in San Francisco. 2nd and 10. And Foster, not much of a hole there as he's able to push the pile a bit for a 6-yard gain. DeQuell Jackson with a hit for Cleveland. Points in the first quarter. The Browns yet to score a touchdown in the opening quarter. 3 points, fewest in the NFL, and the Texans now with 54 points in the first quarter.
That includes the 7 they just got on that 27-yard run by Ben Tate.
So now a 3rd and 4 for Houston, already with a 7-0 lead. Just under 9 minutes to go in this first quarter. Buster screen is in for the injured Dimitri Patterson at nickel. Working out of the gun. Schaub throws, wide open. Owen Daniels extending inside the 10. It's a first down for the Texans, hit by Sheldon Brown. 12 yards on the hookup.
Yeah, he's their leading receiver. That's 32 on the year. He's been in this offense now for 6 years, throwing it a little bit less than they have in the past, but more effectively and ironically without the great Andre Johnson. The tight ends have really stepped up, Dreesen and Daniels.
So 1st and goal now for Houston. Schaub on a handoff. It's Arian Foster. And Foster inching closer to the goal line after an 8-yard run. It'll be 2nd and goal. Owen Daniels, when we sat down with him, said, give a lot of credit to the improvements on the offensive line and the chemistry they've developed over the last couple of years. That's really set the tone for this offense. Dwayne Brown and Wade Smith, Chris Myers, Mike Brizell, and Eric Winston.
He does such a great job in the play-action passing game as well, making the runs look like the passes.
2nd and goal. Schaub fake the handoff. Flushed out of the pocket. Schaub will throw it away. Jabal Sheard, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, athletic pass rusher, was putting the heat on Matt Schaub. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Sheard, they got 2 rookies on the defensive line, Phil Taylor and Jabal Sheard. And Sheard, the coaches just love the way he plays the game. Just a 2nd-round pick out of Pittsburgh. And along with Phil Taylor, they've really bought into this system, and the leadership of DeQuell Jackson and the linebackers Fujita and Gokong have really helped those two. It helps playing alongside of Otaba Rubin too.
After the Ogbonnaya fumble, Houston trying to take advantage here. 3rd and goal. Shotgun. Schaub will do it himself. Touchdown, Texans. Matt Schaub on the quarterback keeper.
That was a quarterback draw all the way. No backs in the backfield with Schaub. He ran one in on a pass play last week against Jacksonville. This one similar to that play. And it's another walk-in touchdown for the Texans. Watch, 2 steps back, and then he's just running. Getting away from Rubin and into the end zone, and a spike that went down and all the way into the stands.
6 plays, 28 yards off of the fumble recovery. And the extra point from Rackers. Rushing touchdown for Ben Tate. Rushing touchdown for Matt Schaub. And for Houston native Chris Obanaya. Chance to come back and do something positive for his team. It's 14-0 Houston. 14-0 Houston in front of Cleveland with 7:11 to play in this first quarter. Matt Schaub, 5 of 7 for 50 yards through the air, and he's got the rushing touchdown as well. And the NFL is launching its Salute to Service campaign before the game. Former President George Bush, an honorary coin toss captain, sign of patriotism here at Reliant Stadium. And challenger, the bald eagle, soared during the national anthem. What a beautiful sight.
Coin toss commander-in-chief, I would have you say.
I shall. Coin toss commander-in-chief. Rackers kicking off to Josh Cribbs. And Cribbs trying to break to the clear. Dragged down with a flag. Face mask it looked like as he crossed the 35-yard line.
That was the only way that Bryce McCain could bring him down. Tremendous return of 66 yards. We'll see what the penalty. Going to add on 15.
Well, it might have been Cribbs that grabbed the face mask on the block.
Yeah, but you can put your hand out into the face mask of someone trying to tackle you, but you cannot grab the face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, number 16, the receiving team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Our referee, Alberto Riveron, delivering the news, and Cribbs with a tremendous return, but they're going to get penalized.
Well, he breaks through the first wave, and now it's just pure speed. McCain has the angle on him. He's going to stick his left hand out, and right there he grabs the face mask, and you cannot do that. You can use your hand, open palm, to ward off the tackler, but you cannot do that and grab the face mask.
So back it up. The Browns still with excellent field position out near midfield with a 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 48-yard line. Obanaya, nothing there. Brian Cushing among those there, along with Sean Cody. And Colt McCoy is back in his home state of Texas, Jim Ned High School out of Tuscola, Texas, about 6 hours away from Houston.
And he told us yesterday that the one lesson he learned more than anything else against the 49ers was just to control the things that he can control. Don't worry about other players' assignments. Just focus on the job of playing quarterback.
2nd and 10 for the Browns. Short drop, and McCoy lays it in there for Greg Little. And Little picks up 9 yards on the completion. Kareem Jackson with the stop for Houston. Starting offense for the Cleveland Browns. That offensive line trying to protect McCoy. They've got Pro Bowler Alex Mack at center, now in his 3rd year out of California. 1st-round pick in 2009. Backs and receivers. Mohamed Massaquoi is back after the concussion he missed last week's game against San Francisco. 3rd and 1. Give it to Obanaya. And the former Texan has the first down. Just shy of the 40-yard line. Chris Obanaya. Straight Jesuit High School here in Houston. Having played quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back in high school. Never played running back in high school until he got to the University of Texas, where he teamed up with Colt McCoy. And a new set of downs for Cleveland in Houston territory, just short of the 40. Obanaya again hits the hole, but the Texans were ready, and a 2-yard gain. Glover Quinn there to bring him down. Let's take you back. Obanaya, here's the high school footage. Straight Jesuit. Talked about his background. Wide receiver, defensive back.
And that's where he's probably more valuable than anything, is catching the ball out of the backfield. Done a good job in bailing out Colt McCoy in the last couple of games.
2nd and 8 here for the Browns. McCoy. Sideline route, and it's Cribbs trying to extend his arm for the first down. Kareem Jackson there defensively, and Cribbs picks up 7 yards on the play.
And the Texans are trying to put pressure on Colt McCoy, get him off the spot, make him throw off balance. The last 2 throws, he has thrown off balance, but because of the man-to-man coverage on the outside, he's been able to get the completion. This is a very critical third down opportunity coming up. So the Browns really have done pretty well this year, 40% or better, converting third downs.
Trying to get a first down on this Wade Phillips coach defense. 3rd and 1. McCoy moving pocket, throws on the run, and it hits off the hand of Greg Little, incomplete. We saw a bunch of those last week against San Francisco. Time for an NFL Today update. JB and Boomer.
Mark Sanchez can't make these kind of mistakes, Boomer.
Hey guys, after an opening impressive drive of 10 minutes, how about Mark Sanchez going to throw an interception right here to Darius Byrd? That's Buffalo's 15th interception of the season. 0-0.
7th pick of the season by Sanchez. Back to Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts.
All right, guys, a 50-yard field goal attempt for Phil Dawson. From 50 yards away, he knocks it through. His 5th field goal of 50 or more yards this season, a new career high for Dawson. And Cleveland is on the board, 14-3. Texans. Dawson, a Dallas, Texas native, gives Cleveland its first points. Browns still do not have a first quarter touchdown this season. 3:43 remaining here in the first quarter in Houston. A 7-play, 20-yard drive after the long return by Cribbs, and Dawson kicks it off to McManus from the 5. And McManus motoring right up the middle across the 25-yard line. Schaub and the Texans offense when we come back. Right now we want to send along our condolences to our colleague, director Suzanne Smith. Suzanne's father, Paul Smith, passed away yesterday, and our thoughts are with our close friend Suzanne and the entire Smith family. Thinking about you, Smithy, here in Houston. 14-3, the Texans leading the Browns with 3:36 to play in this first quarter. And Houston with a 1st and 10 at its own 25-yard line. Take the handoff. Shaw. Great throw to Jacoby Jones. A strike defended by Sheldon Brown, and that covers 17 yards.
Texans have been able to do everything they want to do on offense. Started out with 4 straight passes, including this post route to tight end Joel Dreesen. 27-yard touchdown run by Ben Tate, his longest of his short career. And how about Matt Schaub scoring his 2nd rushing touchdown in 2 weeks? That one on a quarterback draw from 2 yards.
Houston team averages 395 yards of offense per game and just under 26 points per game. Running play to Foster. And a flag down. Good patience by Foster. He waits for that hole. Terrific vision. And Jamie Mitchell will get credit for the stop.
And they're going to get Eric Winston for holding, I believe, on the right side.
Holding, number 73. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
And it is Winston, the 6th-year offensive tackle out of Miami. One of the leaders of this team under Gary Kubiak.
Schaub doing a good job at distributing the ball to all his receivers. 6 completions have gone to 5 different receivers so far.
Injury update, TJ Ward, hand injury. First series of the game, and he is not on the field. His return is questionable, replaced by Usama Young. Schaub in the pocket and floats it over the middle, and Foster's hit immediately by DeQuell Jackson. That's a 3-yard gain. Jackson, we asked him about going against Foster. He said he's a special back. He complements their scheme well, and everybody knows he's a one-cut runner, and he's got a chance to take it the distance every time he touches the football.
And the other dilemma for DeQuell Jackson is the play-action passing game. He's got to make sure that it's not a run play. And so that makes him play a little bit softer, maybe a yard and a half deeper than he normally would.
Jackson really has a nose for the ball, one of the leading tacklers in the NFL this season, leading Cleveland in that department. 2nd and 17. And Foster with a head of steam. Barrels out across the 40-yard line. Good block by Wade Smith on that left side to help spring Foster for 8 yards on the play.
And that was a classic example of one cut and go. Foster running to the left side, put his left foot in the ground and just turned it upfield. Bring up a 3rd down and 9.
You know, all the conversation about Peyton Hillis and his contract issues. Arian Foster's in a similar situation. He's not making big money this year by elite NFL running back standards, and all he's doing is going about his business and producing. And he's told us the contract will take care of itself. Shaw throws on the move to Foster and angles out of bounds. Little bit short of a first down.
This will be decision time for Gary Kubiak. Just about a half a yard, whether you go for it here or not. Players are pointing, yeah, let's go for it, coach. But coach knows better. He's sending out, where is he? Started to send out his punter, then called him back. Now they're going to huddle along the sidelines, and they're going to punt the ball back to the Browns.
Now the play clock at issue as well. Already down to 10. Fans reacting. Wanted Kubiak to go for it. When have you ever heard fans cheer, don't go for it? Does that ever happen? Fred Hartman punting. Cribbs lets it bounce. It rolls into the end zone. A touchback. Browns will have it at the 20-yard line. A 49-yard punt, but a net of 29. Get scores and manage CBS Sports fantasy football teams on your mobile phone. To get the free app, simply call *CBS or go to cbssports.com/mobile.
Yeah, kind of a conservative play there by Gary Kubiak, not going for it. I mean, they've been totally unstoppable on offense so far in this first quarter, and the Browns have just been able to get to midfield and kick a long field goal.
On first down, Obaniah. Not a whole lot there for Obaniah. Up the gut. Give him a 3.5-yard gain. Earl Mitchell with the stop for Houston. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Houston Texans in the 3-4 set. Smith and Watt getting a lot of attention, but Sean Cody has been rock solid at nose tackle. Linebackers, youngster Brooks Reed, rookie out of Arizona. What a job he's done so far. And in the secondary, Jonathan Joseph has been everything the Texans hoped for. A lockdown corner when he signed as a free agent from Cincinnati. End of the first quarter. The Texans with a 14-3 lead. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Back here in Houston, start of the second quarter. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew, producer Bob Monsbach, director Andy Goldberg. Colt McCoy, his family is here. His parents, Brad and Deborah McCoy, in attendance. Colt, a high school legend out of Tuscola in West Texas. And Obaniah gets the call. 4-yard gain for Obaniah, setting up a 2nd and 6. Jim Ned High School. Brad was his coach, and Colt went 34-2 as a starter, including 116 touchdowns in his career. 47 as a senior.
Didn't do too bad at the University of Texas either with 45 wins, so that's in his DNA. Browns and the Brown teammates know he is a winner.
So 3rd and short now for Cleveland. Dealing with the crowd noise, McCoy with a flag down. Gets away from the rush, throws on the move, and a bouncer in the direction of Josh Cribbs with Brooks Reed and Troy Nolan putting the pressure on McCoy.
This was an all-out blitz by the Texans. They even brought the safety Troy Nolan right up the middle, but were they offsides? Colt McCoy says yes, they were.
Offside. Defense, nose tackle was lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, which will result in a first down.
Looks like it's Earl Mitchell, backup nose tackle for the Texans in the neutral zone. Big break for the Browns, something they need.
So a new set of downs for the Browns to work with. Set the football up at the 33-yard line of Cleveland. Wade Phillips, Brian Cushing telling us that his personality has really rubbed off on the defensive players. Win or lose, their focus always is the next game, not harping on the previous performance, whether it's positive or negative. It's been mostly positive. Short drop, McCoy in trouble, gets out of it initially, and then hit from behind by Tim Bowman. Give McCoy a 1-yard gain on the play.
You know, McCoy's not the biggest guy, 6'1", 215 pounds or so. He's tough to bring down. He's very elusive, and he's stronger than you might think. Why don't you break that tackle there, and then get up the field for a 1-yard gain, but avoided the sack.
He said this was the best week of practice the team has had all year. 2nd and 9. And Obadiah having a tough time finding running room. Just a crowd of Texan defenders there, limiting Obadiah to a 2.5-yard gain, including Tim Jamison.
And part of that observation about having a good week of practice is you got everybody healthy, it seemed like, except for Peyton Hillis, obviously. But the guys that are playing in the game today got a full week of practice. And that's important for a team that's learning a new offense under a new head coach.
Dime package now for Houston defensively. Four receivers set for Cleveland. From the gun, McCoy throws, and it's complete. Cribbs, but he did not have enough for the first down. He took a smack from Jonathan Joseph and lost his helmet in the process.
He's close enough to give Pat Shurmur a thought about going for this on 4th down. Cribbs, the outside receiver here. Good design on the play, but look at the close by Joseph. Ball was in the air, and he was coming with bad intentions with that right arm. Shurmur decides too far to go for it on 4th down, so he's going to punt it back to the Texans.
So we'll see the veteran Brad Maynard on, with Jacoby Jones getting himself set back at the Houston 15-yard line. High punt from Maynard, a wobbler. Jones moves forward from the 23. And brought down at the 30-yard line. That's where the Texans will take over with a 14-3 lead early stages of the second quarter here in the Space City. Andre Johnson missing his 5th consecutive game. Surgery on his right hamstring. Suffered the injury against Pittsburgh back on October the 2nd. Ben Tate breaking to the outside, and Tate is pulled down by Young from behind. Wade Smith pulled on the play, and then Tate did the rest.
Let's check out Wade Smith, left guard here, coming around. Good kick out block there. How about Lawrence Vickers playing against his old team? That's the second real key block. He helped Tate get that 27-yarder. This time Tate goes for 24 yards on 1st down into Brown territory.
Tate comes in averaging 5.2 yards per carry.
He's averaging about 20.
Yeah, 3 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. 1st down into Cleveland territory. This time it's Arian Foster staying on his feet. And our Fouts focus, 2 words, Dan. Play action.
Yeah, and their play action passing game is one of the best in the NFL. The key is how they make the pass play look the same as the run play. Linebackers can't tell the difference. That leads to huge holes in the secondary. Joel Dreesen and the other tight ends benefit the most, as they've caught about 1/3 of Matt Schaub's passes coming off of play action passes with big results.
Now 3 tight ends in this formation with Daniels, Dreesen, and Casey, and Schaub to throw. Look at the time. No pressure on Schaub. On a dump off for Casey. And Casey slowed down by Hayden, then finished off by Fujita. 1-yard gain.
Well, Schaub knows he's not going to get anything cheap against the Brown defense. Dick Duran, watch as the receivers come down the field. Deep routes here. There's just not going to be anybody open in the secondary. It's a cover 2 look. It's a zone all the way. And Schaub with a lot of time to throw, but nobody really down the field to get open.
Yeah, we asked Schaub for his scouting report on the Cleveland defense. He said they really are that prototypical bend but don't break. 3rd and 3 now for Houston, working out of the gun. Trying to put pressure. Here it comes. Schaub hit as he throws and delivers to Daniels. 1st down, Texans inside the Cleveland 30. Schaub took a shot from DeQuell Jackson.
Great blitz by Jackson. Here he is right in the middle here. Watch as he comes clear. And watch how Matt Schaub just hangs in and waits for his tight end right over the middle. Daniels to clear. Tight coverage by Osama Young. Great job by Schaub.
1st down for Houston, already with a 14-3 lead. We come up on 9 minutes to play in this second quarter. Tate in the backfield for the Texans. Schaub pump. Schaub out of the pocket. Trying to lead Tate, and he couldn't haul it in. Had some yards in front of him. It's incomplete.
That's always a tough catch for a running back. Tate was settled down along the sidelines, and Schaub could see the open field up the sideline and led him too far. Tate just could not adjust to that low throw.
Tate on the season, 5 catches for 40 yards. Total yards, Houston with 188. And we still have 9 minutes to go in this second quarter. Cleveland has been held to 38. 2nd and 10. Running play for Tate. And the Texans continue to pick up chunks of yardage on the ground. Ben Tate bowling over defenders. And it looks like, depending on the spot, it could be a first down.
Yeah, the power of Tate showed up right there. And he'll come out. Foster will come back in. The only team in the NFL coming in today with 2 rushers over 500 yards. And how about the afternoon so far for Tate? 4 carries for 66 yards.
We talked to Foster about Tate, and he said, hey, we knew he was capable. Obviously, last year he missed the season because of injury, but you could tell in practice what Tate could go out and do, and it's always nice to have multiple players that can get the job done in the backfield. Foster slicing up this Cleveland defense for the touchdown. Arian Foster, 19-yard rip, and the Texans are pouring it on in the first half.
That's like one guy's competing with the other on this one. It's again going to be one of those stretch plays. Watch Foster come to the right side and get a big hole here. Bryzell out in front. Vickers with another good block. And that slicing through the defense you talked about, Ian. Another walk-in touchdown. Tate, Schaub, and now Foster.
Arian Foster now has the most rushing touchdowns in Texans franchise history. 21-3. Houston. 3 rushing touchdowns. Tate, Schaub, and now Foster getting in on the act for Houston. Arian Foster, 24th rushing touchdown. Now the most in franchise history. He was tied with Dominic Williams. You got fantasy points. I don't think you have to worry. Arian Foster's been doing his job when he's been healthy. That's a short kick. Owen Marisic on the return, the fullback, 13 yards. Arian Foster adds to the Houston lead. It's 21-3 over Cleveland. In the 6 previous meetings, the Browns had held the Texans to under 20 points in all of those games. They have not been able to hold Houston to under 20 in the first half. It's 21-3. Texans with 8:01 to go in the second quarter. Thomas Clayton is in the game. Clayton recently signed this week, formerly with San Francisco and New England. His second stint with the Browns, and he gets a 4.5-yard gain hit by Glover Quinn. Tonight, on The Amazing Race, the African adventure kicks into high gear. Can this former NFL star carry the weight? That's Marcus Pollard, former Colt. All new Amazing Race, that's tonight, only CBS. Running game has done its job for Houston. And now the Cleveland Browns are in a deep hole. 21-3. Texans. Play fake. McCoy spins out of trouble. And a flag down as McCoy gets buried. And McCoy a little bit slow to get up. Brian Cushing over there defensively. Antonio Smith forced him out of the pocket.
Holding number 62, offense. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
And it was a loss of 5 on the sack.
Yeah, Brian Cushing will get credit for the sack. 2nd in 2 weeks. Picked up one last week against Jacksonville. But McCoy just had nothing. And then he's running for his life again.
3rd and 11 now for Cleveland. Obadiah back in there. Straight back, McCoy. Steps, throws, too high. Greg Little, the intended target. McCoy on his backside once again as he took a shot from Quentin Demps, the safety.
Yeah, Wade Phillips is showing no mercy on the Browns, bringing a lot of variety of blitzes. This time it's the backup safety. Coming right here, you'll see Demps coming. And he comes right free on the quarterback. Colt McCoy had to throw that ball early and errantly.
Brad Maynard will punch. Jacoby Jones, who has 3 career punt returns for touchdowns, the return man. And this one angled off towards the sideline and out of bounds. Colt McCoy taking shots as he's done week in and week out for the Browns. 21-3, the Texans leading the Browns. This is actually the latest in the season that the Houston Texans have led their division at 5-3 at the halfway point. Now Colt McCoy, a lot to think about right now for the Browns in this offense. Ineffective once again, struggled last week. Only 93 yards in the first half in the loss to San Francisco. Arian Foster wrestled down after the 3-yard gain. Rubin and Mitchell combined on the stop. This November, join the NFL Salute to Service campaign to honor our nation's veterans and active servicemen and women. Learn more at NFL.com/salute. Browns come in averaging 15 points per game. It's tied for 28th in the league. Strong side to the right as Daniels goes in motion now on a 2nd and 7. Foster, those long strides getting to the outside, and Fujita able to contain him out on the perimeter. 3-yard pickup. And President Bush, proud Houston resident, supports all the local teams. Barbara Bush on hand as well, former First Lady. And apparently that's Paul Marchand. I just read his name tag.
And a real thrill for the players to meet President Bush at the coin toss before the game. You could see that Phil Dawson had a few words with him.
3rd and 4. Shotgun formation. Schaub knocked up in the air and then slapped down by Schaub. Looked like Rubin was the one who got his hand in there.
Yeah, then Schaub, after the ball goes up in the air, he plays like Karch Karai. It's Scott Fujita right in the middle there. The ball hit him right in the face mask. Where's the ball? Where's the ball?
Would you call that a spike or no? You're a volleyball guy.
Yeah, that was straight down in front of the 10-foot line.
And a playoff victory for your daughter yesterday.
The Sisters Outlaws continue to roll, number 2 ranked in the state of Oregon.
What about balanced coverage?
Nope, not here.
Brett Hartman punting to Josh Cribbs. Fields it on the sideline. And then Cribbs unable to get back towards the middle as Mr. Alexander. Who? Among those over there.
That's pretty formal of you.
Well, I try to be respectful. That's actually his first name. Mr. Alexander, a rookie who just got signed to the active squad this week. Tomorrow on CBS, Hawaii 5-0 starts with a plane crash and ends with a surprise twist. Don't miss a new Hawaii 5-0 tomorrow only. CBS. Now Cleveland trying to muster something on offense. McCoy is 3 of 5 for 22 yards. Obadiah has been held to 15 yards on the ground. And Obadiah tried a little juke move and only picks up a yard as Connor Barwin was there along with Jamison.
Yeah, the typical start for the Browns so far, that you can take a look at their first 4 possessions. They got the field goal with a great field, the kickoff return gave great field position. Unfortunately, on that kickoff return, Josh Cribbs got called for a face mask penalty, or they would have had a real good shot at getting in the end zone.
2nd and 9 for the Browns. McCoy with a deep drop. They handle the rush. McCoy gets rid of it, and over the middle, he connects with Benjamin Watson for a first down. That's a 13-yard pass play. Watson had high praise for McCoy. Said he's a winner. He's got the respect and trust of his teammates. They know that he's a developing player in just his second year in the NFL.
Watson knows what it takes to make a champion. Played for the New England Patriots. First thing he said, takes a lot of luck.
Yeah, that was his lead when we asked him what does it take. Then he said some talent, of course, discipline, and leadership. Obaniah ridden down by Earl Mitchell, first man there. It's a 4-yard gain as Obaniah was able to at least get a running start, plunging towards that line.
Yeah, the luck might have been having Tom Brady as your backup quarterback to Drew Bledsoe.
Yep.
His talent and leadership. And he sees the same type of qualities in Colt McCoy.
Second and 6. McCoy tried the slant, trying to hit Greg Little. Tight coverage there from Kareem Jackson. It sets up third down for Cleveland.
That was real tight coverage. In fact, it might have been a little bit early. Greg Little still learning the position of wide receiver. One thing about those slant routes, last week he had one knocked away where he didn't come down hard inside. Once you make that cut, you've got to come with a lot of conviction to meet that ball and separate from the defensive back, something Little didn't do there that time with Jackson.
Third and 6 for the Browns. McCoy out of the pocket, throws a low throw, and Little, the intended receiver, incomplete.
Right now what the Texans are doing to the Browns is they're forcing McCoy with all these blitzes to move off the spot. Doesn't appear the Browns have any hot receiver concepts built into their passing game right now because McCoy is seeing linebackers, he's seeing safeties, he's seeing nickelbacks coming at him, especially on third down situations.
And the offensive frustrations continue for Cleveland. Only 55 total yards in this first half. Maynard punting. Jacoby Jones backpedals. Takes it in cleanly at the 10. Jones making his move through traffic. Now to the outside, Jacoby Jones working the sideline. And Jones breaking free of a tackle from Spears, who did slow him down. A 50-yard return for Jacoby Jones.
Now the Browns have struggled covering kicks this year, giving up a touchdown on a kickoff return in the Raider game, and this is Jacoby Jones using his speed, getting all the way around the corner. Brad Maynard can't get him with the angle he had on him. Good field position to start this drive for the Texans. 50 yards on that return.
And Houston has it at the Cleveland 40-yard line. Texans have allowed just 42 first-half points. That's the fewest in the NFL. Now 45. Schaub and intercepted. It got knocked up in the air to DeQuell Jackson, and Jackson is still on his feet. Hit down low by Foster. Owen Daniels, the intended receiver, and Mike Adams with the stamp to jar it loose.
Excellent play by Mike Adams. Looked like Daniels is going to have a big gain on this play-action pass. Watch Daniels, 85 here, go down the middle. Ball thrown well, but just a little bit late. Great read by Adams. And Jackson picks up his first pick of the season. The type of break the Browns need, some type of spark. This time it's delivered by their middle linebacker, DeQuell Jackson.
And a 24-yard return. And the Browns take advantage of it with 2:26 to play in this first half. Matt Schaub picked off first time in his last 105 attempts. Spin move by Obaniah. It doesn't work. And no gain on the play. Sean Cody there to read it.
And the other thing about that interception, Ian, is that for the Browns, T.J. Ward was back in the lineup playing safety. So he's had that hand checked out in the locker room, back in the action.
We hit the 2-minute warning here in Houston. The Texans with a 21-3 advantage on Cleveland. Pectoral injury for Mario Williams, out for the season, and they made some adjustments. Connor Barwin has stepped into Williams' old position, and Brooks Reed has slid forward to the strong side spot, and Barwin and Reed have both played at an extremely high level for Wade Phillips. 21-3, Houston in front, 2 minutes to play, second quarter. Browns have all 3 timeouts to work with. McCoy gets rid of it quickly, and Little is chopped down. Incomplete. Bryce McCain there with the hit. And don't forget, coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. JB and company will have the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
It'll be interesting to see the play selection here for Shermer. Another third down. Last couple of third downs, the Texans have come after McCoy with all sorts of different blitzes.
Third and 10. Massaquoi, the motion man. Flags down.
We get Tony Pachos for jumping early.
Number 79. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
You know, we asked Pat Shermer about this Houston defense, and he had a great answer, which was they play like a team that knows that their offense is going to score points, meaning they can take some chances, they can take some risks defensively.
It's very similar to the Indianapolis Colts when Peyton Manning was healthy and playing. The style of defense that Colts play on defense is get after the quarterback.
Yep.
That's what we're seeing today. Of course, with a big lead like this, why not?
Third and 15 now for Cleveland. From the gun, set up the screen for Obaniah. He's got some blockers, and Obaniah does hit the hole hard, but it's short of a first down. Spilled out at midfield. Glover Quinn among those there. It's a 13-yard pickup.
Yeah, and I think Shermer's thinking about going for it on fourth down, and this would be a good decision. That was really a well-executed screen pass against just a 3-man rush. Thomas getting out in front and Pinkston. And it looks like Shermer may want to talk about this on the sidelines.
Also may want to use some clock so that Houston doesn't get the football back with a lot of time. So he's going to use every bit of the play clock until 1 second, then Shermer calls the timeout. With 1:06 remaining, first half, Houston up big on Cleveland. Browns threatening. Fourth down, Pat Shermer has talked about it with his team. You don't think the Browns are threatening at the 50-yard line, Dan?
Well, if you look at their past record recently, they're almost in Phil Dawson territory. So, yes, they're threatening to get more points.
If you go by the letter of the law today.
Absolutely, partner.
Now, do you agree with this, going for it on fourth down?
I do indeed. Why not?
Fourth and 2, McCoy, they convert. Evan Moore, the tight end, hauls it in Houston territory for a 6-yard pickup. And this drive continues with just under a minute to go now.
2 timeouts to work with.
Go!
Trying to get Obaniah lined up on first down. And a flag thrown as McCoy took the snap.
False start. Number 73. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Joe Thomas in a matchup with Connor Barwin, the Pro Bowl left tackle.
And that's what happens, though, Ian, when you're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Here is Thomas. Connor Barwin to the outside, and Thomas looking inside just flinches a bit.
Back it up to the 49-yard line. First and 15, 42 seconds left. First half. From the gun, McCoy. McCoy, look out. Didn't see the rush coming from the backside. Brooks Reed put the heat on McCoy.
Yeah, great speed by Reed as he goes all the way around right tackle Tony Pachos to pick up that sack. McCoy had no idea that Reed was coming from his blind side.
Now the 10 seconds left. McCoy intercepted. Down the sideline, it's Quentin Demps. And chopped down with 3, down to 2 seconds left.
Now we got a couple of flags on the field. We'll have to straighten this one out, but the Texans may get one more play.
Alberto Riveron.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 66, Cleveland. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Sean Laval called on the penalty. McCoy having an extended conversation with his rookie receiver, Greg Little.
Well, he's trying to get McCoy right in behind McCain here. This is Greg Little, rather. McCoy's trying to get the ball in right to that spot there. Little does not look. Demps comes over with the easy pick, his first of the year. And now the Texans in real easy chip shot range for Rackers.
28-yard field goal. And the frustration for Colt McCoy is evident. Texans with a chance to tack on points. And Rackers guides it through for a 24-3 lead over Cleveland. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report, JB and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. McCoy, 6 of 12, 54 yards. Here in Houston, what a combination in the backfield. Ben Tate and Arian Foster doing major damage on the Cleveland defense. And on the other side, the Houston defense causing major problems for Colt McCoy. Getting ready for the start of the second half. Houston 24 and Cleveland 3. Right now, let's take a look at the NFL Mobile Recap presented by Verizon.
Yeah, first touchdown run of the day for Ben Tate, a 27-yarder as he gets behind Lawrence Vickers there and steps into the end zone. But what a perfect first half, both offensively and defensively for the Texans. They're a team now that expects to win.
Yeah.
They know where they are in their division, 3-0, 5-3 on the season, starting the second half just as they started the season when they beat Indianapolis.
You're right. There's a different feeling around this Houston team. On the other side for Cleveland, the problems continue on offense, and it started very first play from scrimmage. Obaniah fumbles the football, and really the Browns haven't been able to recover since.
Yeah, it's been a rough first half for Colt McCoy as he's not been able to even set his feet at times in the pocket. Great pressure by the Texans defensively. Wade Phillips just showing his value to this Texan franchise. And when you look at the stats of the first half, all the checks, as you might expect, are on the side of the Houston Texans. They look almost looks like the Czech Republic here, Ryan.
Yeah. Is Martina Navratilova here?
I doubt it, but if she were, she'd like these stats.
It is all Houston. Cleveland does get the football to start play in this second half. And Neil Rackers will kick it off. Josh Cribbs, the return man for Cleveland. 24-3, Texans in front of the Browns. Short kick, Mike Adams, one of the up men. And Adams hit low by Jackson at the 30-yard line. Well, we mentioned Cleveland's problems in the first quarter this season, haven't scored a touchdown. Here's an additional problem, Dan. They have not scored a touchdown in the third quarter this season either.
You can see you talked about that one-play fumble that led to 7 points, and at the end of the first half, the interception by Demps. And then the penalty set up a real short chip shot for Neil Rackers.
Number 29 ranked rushing offense in the NFL. No Peyton Hillis, no Montario Hardesty. And Houston native Chris Obaniah getting the opportunity. And Obaniah hit by Jason Allen and Kareem Jackson, the combination. It's a loss of 2 on the play.
Trying to get the ball to the outside, having any luck inside, but Jackson now with this tackle, and he had a fine open field tackle on the kickoff return. Look how he gets under Joe Thomas there and slides into the backfield and takes Obaniah down for a short loss.
Tony Pashos, knee injury. So right now, Artis Hicks is in the game on the right side. Inside handoff, and it's Obaniah busting through that hole and picks up 10 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and short coming up for Cleveland.
Yeah, we asked him yesterday to describe his running style, and he said, you know, I'm basically a physical runner, one cut. I like to hit the hole. I don't do a whole lot of dancing, and that time he showed it with that 10-yard run.
Obadiah was drafted by St. Louis back in 2009 in the 7th round. And Pat Shermer was the offensive coordinator of the Rams back then, so he was familiar with the concepts of the West Coast offense. 3rd and 2, and McCoy is devoured. Brooks Reed.
Second sack of the game for Brooks Reed. Totally unblocked. No hot receiver concept in the offense for Colt McCoy and the Browns. There he is coming straight in. And there's no blocker on that side to pick him up. You see that Obadiah is looking to the inside, and it's an easy play for Brooks Reed.
And a 3 and out for Cleveland to start this second half. 3rd Houston sack of the day. Brad Maynard the punt. Sailing, Jacoby Jones ranges over. It bounces right towards the middle of the field and takes a Cleveland roll inside the 20. It'll be down at the 18-yard line, a 49-yard punt. More third quarter action when we come back. Now, Brian Cushing, we were here for the Oakland-Houston game where he had a gash just above the nose, and now he's got an additional mark on the forehead that they're working on along that Houston sideline. Texans with a 24-3 lead. Handoff. Arian Foster right up the middle. And Foster stays on his feet. Brought down across the 45.
All great running backs have vision and all the physical talent. This is what the vision will give you. Here and then the hole over the middle for Arian Foster. Tremendous explosion there, and he's thinking home run right now. Unfortunately, Kevin Walter gets in his way there, or he might have gotten all the way to the end zone.
Houston has 159 yards on the ground, an average per carry 9.9. And Foster takes the running lane and drives forward for another first down.
Yeah, that might put the average all the way up to 10 per carry. And this is against the 5th-ranked defense in the entire NFL coming into today's game.
Arian Foster with his 13th career 100-yard rushing game. That's a franchise record. AFC Offensive Player of the Month. Came in 3rd behind Matt Forte and Fred Jackson in yards from scrimmage. And this offensive line continues to win on every snap. Ben Tate in the backfield. On first down, Tate gets the call. And Tate takes it for a 7.5-yard gain.
Well, the Texans are starting out the second half just as they started out the ball game, running the ball with great success. 27-yard touchdown run for Ben Tate. Puts him up on the lead there, 7-0. And Tate in the second quarter goes for 24 yards along the right side. Foster gets his first touchdown of the day on that run. So they're just unstoppable, averaging over 10 yards a carry.
Call it 2nd and 2 now for Houston. Tate. And trampled down as Tate was able to fall forward for the 2 yards. And looks like enough for the first down. Hip injury for Usama Young, who stepped in for T.J. Ward. And his return is probable. Dan, you mentioned at the end of that second quarter that Ward did return for Cleveland with a hand injury. How about this? Total yards, 73 for Cleveland. You see what Tate and Foster have done. And just to praise the Houston defense again, they've gone back-to-back games not allowing over 200 yards of offense. First time in franchise history they've done that. Scott Fujita with a hit on Foster. So a loss of 3 on the play, and that will bring Arian Foster below the 100-yard mark, back to 99.
This is a great start here. There's the touchdown run by Tate. That was a quarterback draw that was finished off by Matt Schaub, and then the touchdown by Arian Foster. So a good start, but that's nothing new for Gary Kubiak's Texans. They're one of the best teams out of the gate in the NFL.
Houston has 12 players with a touchdown this season. That's the most in the NFL. 2nd and 13 now for the Texans. Schaub. A strike to Jacoby Jones. Coverage from Joe Hayden. Hayden, who was excited about the possibility of going against Andre Johnson, he said, if Andre was healthy, he would have been the best receiver I've ever played against. A lot of respect for him.
This is the second catch of the afternoon for Jones. Hayden playing off and to the outside against the 6'2" Jones. Easy completion for Schaub. He's had a lot of easy completions today.
First down for the Texans. Daniels in motion. Handoff. Foster tried to cut it back. At least he considered it going the other way, and DeQuell Jackson was right there. Limits him to a gain of 1. This Houston team 3-1 at home. The only loss coming to Oakland on October the 9th. See the numbers today. Obadiah, the former Texan, he has not had the running room to work with. Modest numbers for Schaub because they've run the ball so effectively. 102 yards through the air. And Schaub got picked off in that first half. Play fake. Schaub over the middle. Short pop. And it's Foster who's able to curl it upfield. DeQuell Jackson with the tackle.
Well, no surprise that Foster, obviously the leading rusher today, but also the leading receiver for Matt Schaub. It's his 4th catch for 24 yards, and most of them have been that check down variety. That one puts the Texans in a real good shape on this 3rd down. A lot of options here for Matt Schaub, run and pass.
Well, you asked Foster how he's feeling. He said, feeling fresh, as good as I can be. After playing 5 games, he's certainly showing that here today. Both backs have looked fresh. Schaub, play fake. Daniels first down catch. It'll be 1st and goal. Joe Hayden with the hit. 8-yard pickup on the boot.
Yeah, Owen Daniels lined up as a wide receiver on this play. He's way out here, even beyond Jacoby Jones. Great play fake. And Hayden late coming over here. Really a well-designed play with the wide receiver coming down inside in motion and having the tight end Owen Daniels outside for the reception. Easy, another easy one for Schaub.
10th play of the drive. 1st and goal for Houston. Handoff. Arian Foster patient. And Foster brought down after he picks up 3 yards. A lot of white jerseys in the area for Cleveland. Clock is moving. 6.5 to go in this 3rd quarter.
And last week against the 49ers was a tremendous goal line stand by the Browns when start the 2nd half. It looked like the 49ers were going to go in. DeQuell Jackson, along with help from Chris Gokong and Taba Rubin, kept the 49ers out of the end zone on 4 tries from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, this Cleveland defense, though, did give up 174 yards on the ground to San Francisco. Frank Gore had 134. And the Texans use a timeout. We'll step aside. Houston up 24-3. Nice day out at Memorial Park here in Houston. And this has been a walk in the park for the Texans against the Browns. 24-3. Colt McCoy, Pat Shurmur last week, only 10 points. This week they put up 3. Houston can add to its lead. Play fake. Schaub on the move. And Schaub throws it into the crowd. Jabal Sheard with the pressure on Schaub. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, as we look at this, Schaub is trying to try and get one of these receivers open, but the Browns do a great job here. Vickers is covered in the flat, and then deep here, the tight end, and there's just nobody for Schaub to throw this ball to. He's trying to buy as much time as possible. Good defense by the Browns.
12th play of the drive. 3rd and goal for Houston. Schaub straight back. Looks. Schaub forced out of the pocket and throws it away. DeQuell Jackson. So this Cleveland defense, which comes in number 5 in the NFL, no Browns defense has finished a season ranked in the top 10 since 1994 when they finished number 7 in the league.
Good blitz again by DeQuell Jackson as he fights off the block of Wade Smith and almost comes up with a sack. But another good defensive stand by the Browns 2 weeks in a row now.
Neil Racker's on for a short 21-yard attempt. And Rackers converts. 27-3 lead. Texans. We'll come back to Houston in a moment. Almost 73 yards of offense for the Cleveland Browns today, and they trail the Texans 27-3. The latest drive for Houston, 13 plays, 78 yards. It took 7 minutes and 17 seconds. The Browns do come through defensively to make sure that the Texans didn't put it in the end zone. Rackers with a short field goal, and now he kicks off to Josh Cribbs, although they're not kicking the Cribbs. Marisic, the fullback. And he is driven out of bounds out across the 30-yard line. Cleveland Browns, any signs of life on offense? Houston Texans, Brian Cushing. It's another day of the office for him. His Texan team 27-17 at home under Gary Kubiak. Remember, they started 2009 at 5-3, so there's still some reserved optimism here, because they couldn't finish the deal 2 years ago. Obaniah hit immediately by Cushing. He has been everywhere. And coming up Tuesday on CBS.
It's like Alex Smith is down.
So we'll step aside as the Cleveland medical staff deals with the tight end.
Right side of the screen is Alex Smith. Cushing's going to tackle the ball carrier into him, and then Smith gets bent over backwards and remarkably walked off the field under his own power.
Jordan Cameron comes in to replace him, rookie out of USC. And sets up as a receiver. 2nd and 10. McCoy, short drop, and the throw to Cameron, getting him involved right away. And that covers 7 yards. Glover Quinn brings him down. Tuesday on CBS, for this detective, the key to solving crimes is remembering every detail. Bobby Montgomery and Dylan Wall star in a new unforgettable Tuesday only CBS.
Browns just 1 of 7 converting third downs this afternoon. McCoy's seen a lot of blitzes.
3rd and short. Set it up on the screen, Benjamin Watson, and he's got a first down into Houston territory.
Yeah, Watson is blocking on Brooks Reed, and he lets Reed go. Reed thinks he's going to get a sack on the quarterback, and instead it's going to be Watson picking up a first down, going for 13. Watch this play right here. A little slow block there, and then into his route. Good blocking up in front. Artis Hicks with a key block, and a big play for the Browns on third down.
Out of bounds at the 48-yard line. McCoy is now 8 of 14, 74 yards. He does have an interception. McCoy to throw it. And fires over the middle. Connects with Cribbs. Out across the 35. That's a first down for Cleveland. It covers 15 yards.
And they break a tendency on first down. Up to that point, the Browns had run 11 running plays and just 1 pass. This is the 2nd pass in all those first down opportunities. The hook route over the middle for Josh Cribbs. Good effort there to pick up extra yardage after the catch.
McCoy with only 11 completed passes of 20 or more yards this season. That's the fewest in the NFL for everyday starters. McCoy steps up and he'll run. Slides just across the 30-yard line. Brian Cushing. It's a 4-yard gain for McCoy.
Well, McCoy has been beat up quite regularly. Last week, it was the 49ers, Ahmad Brooks with the forced fumble there. This afternoon, it seems like every time McCoy's gone back to pass, this has been the result. He's been sacked officially 3 times and hit almost every time. And on that last play, just against a 3-man rush, he decides to run, picks up a couple.
And dealing with a lot of pressure the last 2 weeks in San Francisco, here today in Houston. 2nd and 6 for Cleveland. McCoy throws into a tight space trying to hit Massaquoi, and it's ruled incomplete. Jonathan Joseph over there defensively.
And McCoy can't believe that wasn't either pass interference or the ball wasn't caught by Mohamed Massaquoi.
Massaquoi, who suffered a concussion against Seattle and suffered one against Pittsburgh last year when he took that big hit from Harrison. Alex Smith is back on the field. Good sign for Cleveland. 3rd and 6. Obaniah in the backfield. And protection doesn't hold up for McCoy. He's slammed down. Connor Barwin. Houston came in tied with Baltimore for the most sacks in the AFC, and they keep adding to their total. 4 now for the Texans.
Barwin at the top of the screen here working against Joe Thomas. And just a tremendous spin move there at the last part of this play. McCoy getting away from Brooks Reed, and now another long field goal for Dawson.
51-yard attempt. And Dawson has got it. Phil Dawson. Now 6 field goals this season of 50 or more yards. Dawson has been the bright spot.
And it looks like the Jets are getting their act together in Buffalo, leading the Bills 13-0. Second half.
The way Buffalo's offense had been going and the way the Jets defense had been going, you figure that Buffalo would be able to put up some points. Not the case as Dawson kicks it off. McManus will take it out of the end zone. And Sherrick McManus hit at the 21-yard line by Josh Cribbs. NFL Today update. It's JB and Boomer Esiason standing by.
Reggie Bush helping Boomer's upset pick look good.
How about the Dolphins? Well, I'll tell you what, they are rolling today. 28 yards down the sideline. Reggie Bush. Really the story of the day is Matt Moore, 3 touchdown passes, 14 of 19, 213 yards. Miami percolating for an upset there, JB.
That they are. Hey, Boomer, we have to get in at least one of these a day. Back to the bird and the beard.
Thank you, JB and Boomer. Dolphins have lost 10 in a row, and Kansas City, you cannot figure that team out. Ben Tate, strong run up the middle as Ward was there with Fujita, 7.5-yard gain. Down to 1:45 to play in this third quarter. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
Yep, that's me.
Where?
Over here.
Oh, that's you, right?
Yeah, the beard.
Yeah, the beard.
You are the eagle.
Oh, the bird.
Hey, you did a good job. You and the Challenger today, flying around the stadium.
Thanks. It's my cousin. 27-6 Houston, leading Cleveland. Late stages, third quarter. Job and a handoff for Tate. Like he was shot out of a cannon. Ben Tate. 14 yards for Tate. NFL Today update. Back to JB and Boomer.
There was some concern about Plexico's back coming in.
Well, I'll tell you what, you watch this catch and watch the run after the catch. You can see there's no problem with his back as he tries to burrow his way into the end zone. He doesn't get in, but LaDainian Tomlinson does. Buffalo comes back with a field goal. 13-3 in the third. Jets over Buffalo.
All right, back to Ian and Dan.
All right, guys, the Jets have won 5 of their last 6 against the Buffalo Bills. And they've got the lead in the third quarter. Now handed off to Arian Foster. And there doesn't appear to be that much there yet. Arian Foster can turn it into a 5-yard gain. He just keeps running downhill. And TJ Ward there to help make the stop. That'll be the final play of this third quarter. The Houston Texans trying to improve to 6-3. They have never been 3 games over 500 in franchise history, and a flag just came down. Texans were ready to switch sides and start the fourth quarter. And the officials trying to separate the two teams. And DeQuell Jackson pulling one of his guys out of the area, Jamie Mitchell.
Yeah, it looked like Jamie Mitchell and Wade Smith are having a difference of opinion. Jamie Mitchell taking a shot at James Casey.
Pat Shurmur just said to Jamie Mitchell, hey, you got to keep your poise. Mitchell's a veteran in his 6th year out of Mississippi. Alberto Riveron.
There are 2 fouls after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting on the offense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 92 on the defense. Those fouls will offset. 2nd down.
In that case, I think that the personal foul, unnecessary roughness, should be enforced because taunting is a non-physical act.
They
you could
offset.
get injured on a unnecessary roughness penalty.
End of the 3rd here in Houston. Houston 27, Cleveland 6 as we start play in the 4th quarter. Texans come in at 5-3, the Browns at 3-4. And again, Cleveland's streak continues. They have not scored a touchdown in the 1st or 3rd quarters this season. 2nd and 5, first play of the 4th. And a handoff to Arian Foster. He's hit from behind by DeQuell Jackson. Continues to play at a high level. And it's a 2-yard gain.
Really is enjoying playing the middle linebacker. Before he got hurt, he was a middle linebacker in a 3-4 configuration, facing a lot of offensive guards coming out and blocking. But with Taba Rubin and Phil Taylor now playing the tackle positions in the 4-3, that allows Jackson more freedom and more tackles.
Yeah, he missed 2 years because of the pectoral injury, and he told us it was probably the best thing that ever happened to him because he watched the defense from a different perspective. Arian Foster trying to get to that 1st down line, and it looks to be a little bit short. Jabal sheared over there defensively.
You just can't give up on Arian Foster. He does such a good job of continuing, and he did get the 1st down on this just by a little bit. But
wow.
Looked like he was going to be stopped well short of the 1st down, but he's got a great way of finishing the run.
And now Foster is on the Houston sideline, and Ben Tate has a chance to crack 100 yards on the ground.
Pretty good chance.
Walter goes in motion. Tate with 99. And Tate with over 100. Falling forward.
I don't know if he is over. I think he's right at 100.
I'll give him 1.
Looked like he had a lot. And then, they get greedy at times, those running backs. He picks up 1 yard there to put him right at 100 yards for the afternoon on just 9 carries. Not a bad backup running back.
Now this drive has been all running plays for Houston. So officially goes down as a 1-yard run. He is at 100 yards rushing on the day. 2nd and 9 for the Texans. Take the run, low throw, and Jones, the intended receiver for Houston. JB and Boomer, they've got an NFL Today update as we head to New York.
Coach Cowher's upset pick were the Jets, Boomer.
Hey, JB, after a 42-yard pass interference call on Leotis McKelvin, back comes Mark Sanchez and Santonio Holmes. 20-3, Jets over Buffalo as they are starting to assert themselves offensively as well as defensively.
Coach thought the Jets matched up well and a sense of desperation. Back to Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
Jets have it rolling in upstate New York as the Texans have it going here in their home state. Arian Foster, long strides. 1st down for Foster and the Texans. That's a 10-yard run for last year's leading rusher in the NFL. So the Texans came in with a half-game lead over Tennessee, 3-0 in the division. And in those divisional games, Dan, wins over Indianapolis, Tennessee, and Jacksonville, they outscored the opposition 99-28.
And Schaub said, coming in that, nothing happens after 8 games. They don't put you in the playoffs after 8 games. We still have to go out and make it happen, take care of business. That's what they're doing today.
Hand off to Tate. You still get the sense, though, in Houston that there's this wait-and-see attitude just because of past years where the Texans had opportunities, couldn't convert.
I think the fans have that, but I don't think the players in that locker room have that. They feel so much better this year, and a lot of it has to do with Wade Phillips and the defense. They're playing great football, and offensively they're just continuing to get better and better. This offensive line has been so dominant all year. They're starting to get the recognition as one of the best in the NFL because of their balance running and protecting Matt Schaub.
And doing it without Andre Johnson, without Mario Williams. 2nd and 8 now for the Texans. Fake the handoff, bootleg. And Schaub being chased down. He throws it away as Philip Taylor supplied the hit on Schaub.
Taylor looking around to see if there's a flag after he hits Schaub. But it's a good play by Phil Taylor. But that's the way defensive linemen are almost conditioned now. Every time they hit the quarterback, they're looking around to see if there's any flag on the play. But this is a heck of an effort by Phil Taylor, 335 pounds. Watch as he takes down Schaub. He's going to... Where's the flag? Is there a flag? Huh? No flag? Okay, good. Whew.
Philip Taylor, first-round draft pick, number 21 overall. Actually began his collegiate career at Penn State before moving on to Baylor. 3rd and 8. Schaub underneath. Foster slipped down, and that little slip was enough to allow Cleveland to get back in on the play. And Joe Hayden there to make sure. No first down for Houston. So we'll see Neil Rackers come on. This is a 50-yard attempt for Rackers. From 50 yards away, it's good. Rackers and the Texans with a 30-6 lead in the 4th. Rackers will kick it off for Houston. 30-6 lead for the Texans. Another short kick. They don't want Cribs anywhere near the football. Marisa continues to get a lot of opportunities as the up man, and he is forced toward the sideline just across the 35-yard line. Cleveland Browns in a familiar position. Back here in Houston, and coming this December, a Game of Honor will take you behind the scenes of Army and Navy football. Watch exclusive online episodes at cbssports.com/honor. Thomas Clayton is in the backfield now for Cleveland. Play action. McCoy throwing on the move, and he's got Cribs over the middle for a first down into Houston territory across the 45-yard line. We asked Benjamin Watson about this Peyton Hillis situation, and was it an intervention last week? And Watson said, no, it was a leadership group that meets every Wednesday. Peyton is a part of that group, and we told him we're behind him, we believe in him. Obviously, this Hillis story has become a huge distraction. Handoff for Clayton. And Clayton fighting for extra yardage. He's brought down just short of the 40-yard line. What do you make of this Peyton Hillis situation and what the Browns should do?
Well, the key word that you mentioned there is distraction. Right now in the NFL, there are two teams that are suffering from major distractions. You've got Denver with the Tebow effect, whether you're for him or against him. That team is struggling, obviously. And in Cleveland with Hillis, he's got a bad hamstring. He's a big tailback. Hamstrings on big guys take a long time. I think the Browns might consider just putting him on IR, eliminating him and his distraction from the team, and seeing if they can go forward with what they have.
2nd and 7, McCoy in stride. He connects with Jordan Norwood. First year out of Penn State. Mohamed Massaquoi suffered a head injury. He will not return. Massaquoi was trying to come back from the concussion that he had suffered a couple of weeks ago against Seattle.
Yeah, because with the hamstring, it's going to be at least another 2 weeks, maybe 3. He seems to keep aggravating it. Injured reserve puts him out for the season. He can rehabilitate, get himself better, and take his best shot in free agency perhaps next year.
He re-injured that hamstring in practice on Friday. An MRI showed he aggravated the muscle. J.J. Watt and Brian Cushing combined for a loss of 2 on the play.
And you see Cushing on the sidelines getting patched back together, kind of looking like Rocky, asking his trainer, hey, cut me, Paulie. Here he is right here with another tackle. Shooting the gap on this 3rd down, just waiting for the back Clayton to bounce it to the outside. Heads up play.
Are you creating lines in Rocky? I believe it was cut me Mick.
Was it Paulie?
Well, Paulie was in the corner, but it was Mick.
Well, Paulie should have cut him.
Of course, Burgess Meredith and Burt Young. 4th and 3. And Clayton. Did he get enough for the 1st down? Boy, that looks like on the initial spot that he may have. They are right on that 1st down line, and they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, I think the football gods give it to him on this play. Marisic with a good lead block on D'Amico Ryans, and just by the nose of a football, Clayton picks up the 1st down.
Thomas Clayton was working out on his own in Massachusetts when he got the call. He was in Seattle's training camp, thought he was going to make that team. Here's McCoy. Deep ball, first of the day. It's Little in a battle, and Jackson there defensively. Little, they have said it, that he is a raw talent, and you and I have seen it firsthand each of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's just not able to get any separation from Kareem Jackson. Jackson is just a super job here, reading the route right now. He knows he's going deep right now. As you can see, Little looking back way too early, and then there's a little bit of hand fighting and a good non-call because both players at the same time put their hands on each other.
Little last week, 4 catches for 28 yards. This week, 1 catch, 9 yards. 2nd and 10 for Cleveland. McCoy with a short drop and throws underneath, complete to Evan Moore. And picks up 5 yards through the air, pushing and shoving after the play. Clock is moving, under 7 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. And the Texans in complete control, 30-6.
And Cleveland Brown fans have seen just way too much of this season. Browns falling behind and then rallying late to get some meaningless scores. This will build some confidence in the Browns. As long as McCoy has time to throw, he's on target.
3rd and 5 for the Browns. Rush coming, McCoy forced to get rid of it, and caught. Greg Little off the high heave by McCoy. And Brooks Reed delivered the blow on Colt McCoy.
Yeah, there's just something wrong with their pass protection scheme. So many times today, poor Colt McCoy has been drilled just like that by Reed. Right in the chest. Look at McCoy looking down the field, seeing this great catch by Little at about the 5-yard line. But boy, that is a bruise that won't go away for a long time.
At the very least this season, Mike Holmgren, Pat Shermer, Tom Heckert, the rest of the brass have to figure out if Colt McCoy is the guy they're going to go with, a quarterback down the road. Handoff. And it's Clayton angling his way.
Well, they found out a few things about McCoy this year, that he doesn't quit and he's tough. That was a great example of his toughness.
McCoy's mom and dad in attendance. Deborah and Brad. 2nd and goal now for Cleveland. Clayton releases out of the backfield. Shotgun for McCoy. Rush coming. Untouched. Reed couldn't bring him down. McCoy stumbles out of bounds as J.J. Watt gives chase and was able to get him down low. It'll go down as a sack for Houston. It's a loss on the play.
I mean, how many times have we seen this? Here's Brooks Reed again coming in on the blitz. McCoy having to dodge him and then run away from J.J. Watt.
So 3rd and goal now. We will hit the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. But Texas brought it over 9 now in the backfield. They get the playoff. Bootleg, circling. McCoy connects with Cribbs. Touchdown, Browns. Well, something positive for Cleveland. And you said this has been the routine for the Browns in some of these games, trying to make something work in the fourth quarter to build on.
Watch Cribbs come out after the good play by Alex Smith, clearing out the interference there. And Mom and Dad, the whole family, finally something positive to cheer about.
Well,
going for 2 now for Colt McCoy. Huh?
There were a lot of celebrations like that for the McCoy family in high school, in college. A prolific winner at the University of Texas. And he's taken his lumps as a young quarterback in the NFL in his second year. Browns go for 2. Moving pocket. McCoy with a deep drop. And it's intercepted. Sean Cody. Houston 30, Browns 12. We'll come back with 4:47 to go. 30-12. Texans lead it. 4:47 to go. Browns will try the onside kick. It's free. Cribbs trying to get himself in there on the recovery, but it appears the Texans have got it. They do.
That was really a well-designed and well-executed onside kick by the Browns. Eric Hagg had a real good shot at this. Couldn't quite corral it, pushed it forward. But there's the recovery by the Texans. Cribbs couldn't get it.
Joel Dreesen comes up with it. Houston Texans, franchise record, rushing yards of the game, 257. They have 228 today. And try to use up as much clock as possible to wrap things up here. Ben Tate. And Tate keeps the legs churning. He's got a first down out near the 45-yard line. That's an 11-yard gain for Tate. He's got 113 yards on the ground. It looks like Arian Foster's day is done with a $124 and a touchdown.
Tate came into the game averaging 5 yards a carry. Today, 10 yards a carry.
Take your pick. Both have been equally effective and right from the very start. On first down for Houston. And Tate tried to stick his helmet down and gain some extra yardage. He's brought down after the pickup of 2. On top of Rubin and Fujita there.
Well, here are the 3 rushing touchdowns all in the first half. Tate goes 27 yards on the first drive of the game. Then Matt Schaub, the quarterback, draws his second touchdown in 2 weeks. Of course, Arian Foster. How about 3 touchdowns where they all go in standing up? That tells you how good that offensive line is.
Foster has that touchdown celebration. That's actually a Hindu greeting.
Really?
Yeah. Namaste. Bow down.
Yeah, which means I see the good in you. I honor that. I hope you see the good in me, partner.
Yeah. Was that directed towards me? Of course.
I'm not sure it's literal, though, translation.
Derek Ward has come on, and Ward is the forgotten man here. He got tripped, able to get back up. We'll see where they spot the football. This is a man who averaged 6.3 yards per carry last year and had some injuries to deal with early in the season with his ankle.
And it looked like he tripped over his fullback, Lawrence Vickers, so he was able to get up and pick up a couple of yards.
And a timeout called by Cleveland with 3:48 remaining in the fourth. Now this is a Houston team that's trying to go to the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. The longest playoff drought active, the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. And there are the Browns, who haven't been to the postseason since 2002. Now for Pat Shurmur, he felt that the team was getting close. Eliminating those mistakes, felt the results would come. Next game for them will be home against St. Louis, as Ward Carries to the 35. And that's a 3-yard gain and a first down. Shermer will use his last time out at the 3:35 mark. For Houston, Texans improved to 6-3. Best start they've ever had in franchise history. They will be at Tampa Bay next week, then the bye, at Jacksonville, home for Atlanta, and then at Cincinnati and home for Carolina in December.
And as far as wide receiver Andre Johnson's concerned, there's some thought that the Texans may just rest him next week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, take advantage of the bye week, and then for the stretch run of the season, make sure that hamstring is totally healthy. What an addition he would be to this offense.
And Derek Ward brought down. Last week, Houston was able to kill the clock on the ground late in the fourth quarter in that 24-14 win over Jacksonville. They come in number 4 in the NFL in rushing, and those numbers will improve ranking-wise after their performance here today. 248 rushing yards for the Texans, those two men accounting for the majority of that total.
And it was interesting the way the game started, wasn't it, with the Texans coming out, 4 straight passes, 4 straight completions for Schaub, and then he let the running backs, Tate, Foster, take over from there.
And give some kudos to Lawrence Vickers, the fullback, blocking for those two guys, and a former Cleveland Brown getting a win against his old team. Ward lost the football right at the end of the play, and it's scooped up by Taylor, who then coughs it up himself. Picking it up, Eric Hagg, and out of bounds at the 25.
Now they might want to challenge this if you're the Texans. It looked like Derek Ward's knee may have been down when that ball was ripped out. Looked like it was Chris Gokong that got in there and ripped the ball away from Ward. He may have been down before it came out. 51 is Gokong. Let's check out the knees. Watch Gokong go with his right arm for the ball. And the knee is down and the ball is still in his grasp, or is it? It's coming out. This is going to be a real tough one for the officials. Kubiak's got the challenge flag, and there it goes.
So the Texans will challenge the ruling on the field, which was a fumble recovery.
Houston is challenging the ruling on the field that the player was still up when the ball became loose.
Now let's check out. It's his right knee that's going to go down right here. Let's see, the ball starts to move, but it appears that the knee is down before the ball is ripped out by Gokong. Close call, though.
So knee is down there, and then the rip.
Heads up play by Gokong. And then the big guy gets involved, Phil Taylor. He's going to punish that Dreesen there. Forgets about the ball. Luckily, Hagg was there to pick it up. That's a lineman's dream, isn't it? To get the ball in their hands forever, how briefly.
So Gary Kubiak has challenged the play. Now, the replay that we saw, it did look like Ward's right knee was down just an instant before the rake. The Houston offensive players are ready to come back on the field. They feel like they're going to win this challenge after seeing it on the big screen here at Reliant Stadium.
Now, one more time. Watch Derek Ward's right knee. And then the ball getting ripped out by Gokong. And whenever the officials are starting to converse, that usually means they're going to reverse this call and check out where the ball was fumbled on the field and the time on the clock. If the play was going to stand as called on the field, Alberto Riveron would already be out here telling us that.
So you got the knee in play here. You also have the elbow of Ward.
Yeah, that's a good shot there. elbow is down. Ball still in the hand of Ward, and it is coming out shortly after that.
So we'll get the word from Alberto Riveron. Will Houston hold on to it?
The ruling on the field will be reversed. The runner's arm was down prior to the ball becoming loose. Therefore, he is down at the 38-yard line, third down.
So Kubiak challenges, and justified in that challenge.
Let's check out the left elbow of Derek Ward.
Yep.
Good call, good reversal, good use of the instant replay, and a good challenge by Gary Kubiak.
So Houston retains possession, and see what the numbers have looked like through 8 weeks. 95 reviews, 50 have been reversed. Among the coaches' challenges,
Coaches are getting better.
practice,
Practice?
3rd and 13. And they will go conservative with Ward up the middle to the 31-yard line, and it brings up 4th down, and it will bring us to the 2-minute warning here in Houston. The Texans are going to cruise in with their 6th win of the season. We'll have the finish when we come back. Texans owner Bob McNair. Yeah, why not? Dance it up. Your team is 6-3. And the best start in franchise history. 4th down for Houston. They'll go for it on 4th and 6. Hand off to Ward to the outside, and Ward has got the first down across the 25-yard line, and that will do it.
Yeah, pretty good effort by Derek Ward. Knows what he needs and goes airborne to get it.
They had a bunch of running backs, Houston, because you talk about Foster and Tate and Ward. They had Obaniah. They had Steve Slayton. And Houston has now set a new franchise record. 263 rushing yards today against the Browns.
Yeah, but they're going to lose a yard here on the victory play. But they give Matt Schaub a little credit, too. He had that 2-yard quarterback draw for a touchdown.
One minute to play. What's coming up for the Browns? St. Louis, Jacksonville, at Cincinnati, and really just trying to get on the same page offensively. The numbers are not pretty. 172 yards of offense today for the Browns, and most of those coming late when they had a chance to pad the stats. For the first time in franchise history, the Houston Texans are 6-3 and leading the way in the AFC South. First time Gary Kubiak and his club has ever been 3 games over 500. 30-12, Houston over Cleveland. The Browns